just love weddings. Well, today is Kickback Saturday. After a wedding last night, a fairly good sleep, Moosie and I are pooped. So we're kicking back. I might do a little gardening, but I do want to talk to you about a few things. And I do have just a few of the wedding pictures to show you. I think everyone loves weddings. Maybe the bride and groom are a little nervous and sometimes they don't enjoy their own wedding as much as they should. But when you have all your family there, and especially when Moosie and I have a lot of our own children. We had 5 kids and their spouses. Billy was in Idaho and wasn't able to make it down for the wedding. But we had all of them. And then we had the adult grandchildren. And they're a blast, honestly. My mouth hurts from laughing, from crying emotional tears all day long. And by the time they started taking pictures after the ceremony, my makeup was gone and I looked washed out. It was rolling around. Everybody was crying at the emotional moments of the first dance and the daddy-daughter dance and the mommy-son dance when Margie was dancing with Riley. And honestly, your emotions are all there. So today, it's just kickback. Moosie's outside. I did cook a really nice egg breakfast this morning with some avocado toast, and it was a good breakfast. And he had that outside. In fact, we both sat outside. It's a nice day, but it is a little chilly, so I dragged out my jeans jacket one more time, maybe. We'll see. The weather keeps fooling us, but that's okay. But the pictures, I'm waiting for a lot of the kids. Our children and the grandkids took the best pictures. You know, those candid pictures of people dancing and clowning around, and those ones where they managed to bunch and get together.
But I hope he makes you proud.
Kids together, or just those pictures that mean so much. I didn't take that many pictures, so I'm waiting for some of the pictures to come in from the kids. I did have some, and I'll put those on for you. But, you know, the anticipation of looking forward to a wedding is great. And then the actual wedding itself, most times with people, they're fun. And with us, they're wonderful. And with me, it's not only seeing a wonderful grandson marry the love of his life. It's having all the children there and the grandkids there and hugging them and kissing them. And we're blessed. I just can't say enough, but we are. So to get the chit-chat of the wedding itself kind of out of the way first, yes, my outfit was a hit. Everybody loved the outfit, especially the top, and of course my Ralphie skirt. That was great. However, guess what didn't make it? The cute booties with the buckle and the pointy toe. You know, before we left, I looked at them, and this venue where the wedding was a 100-year-old building. As a matter of fact, when Colleen was getting married 25 years ago, we looked at this venue. And it had wonderful rooms, big rooms. I don't know what it was initially, probably some kind of office building or something. but they've made it into this wedding venue. And there were 5 floors, and each floor had something on it, but there was only one elevator, an old elevator. And then there were stairs, pretty, wide stairs with carpeting that people that could manage those stairs would go up and down. But the ceremony itself was on one level, and then the hors d'oeuvres cocktail party was outside on another level where there was a pretty little awning, and it was all outside, and you were having your hors d'oeuvres and drinks while the families were having the pictures taken. And then the dancing and the meal with all the tables was on another floor. So we decided 2 things that with the children's advice. Number 1, kill the boots. So they were afraid of the wooden floors and whatever. I had packed a pair of flats just in case. I had found, oh gosh, about 8 months ago, almost a year ago, I had found these sort of silver bronze Tory birch flats, believe it or not, at a thrift shop. In fact, Colleen spotted them right off the bat. Are those Tory birch? She's out of there. Yep, thrift shop. So I had packed those because they're so comfortable and stylish at the same time. And had the boots on. And then I switched it around. I took the boots off and put the flats on and said, nobody's going to be looking at my feet with a gorgeous bride, a beautiful dress, and all the other beautiful people there that they're not going to care what Nanny had on her feet. So I put the Tory birch flats on and never did pop in the boots. And you know what? In all the pictures and everything, I don't even think you see my feet. Maybe when I was dancing with Riley, but didn't matter at that point. So that's that. But everything else I wore, and my jewelry was great. And I did get compliments on it all. But, and I'll put some pictures on probably at this point. Hopefully they'll be coming in from the kids. The kids sleep later than we do after a wedding, and especially on a Saturday. So I'm not getting all the pictures yet. This is Saturday morning about 11 o'clock. And I do want to put this video up for you for tomorrow. So that's why I'm doing this now. It's not a very exciting one, but now the other thing I wanted to talk about was our day on Thursday. We had 2 busy days back to back. As you know, Moosie's been going to, I found a dental university patient care where the kids are studying and putting in their 4 years, I believe, and they work on patients for a fraction of the cost that you would have to pay. And especially in Moosie's case, we're probably going to have all the teeth pulled and dentures. And we couldn't afford the dentist. We don't have insurance. Medicare does not pay for dental care. So I, with the advice of a lot of you ladies, and thank you so much, tracked down a school fairly near to us. So, but it does take twice as long because the students do their work and they're very thorough, and then they get everything approved by the wandering doctors. There's a ton of doctors wandering around, dentists, older men that come and they approve and they ask questions, and the teaching's going on. So we were there, honestly, I would say maybe 3 or 4 hours. And my Moosie's patience was running out, but he knows he's getting a good deal, so he's cooling it. What's going on? Smile. Look at me. Hello. So they did do the very comprehensive exam once again, all sorts of poking around and everything, and more of x-rays and photographs and whatever. But the actual procedures haven't started yet, and we found out today that the school does take a 6-week break coming up in another week. So we probably won't be able to go back again until June, mid-June or something like that. But it's okay. I have him all calmed down, and his teeth aren't hurting or anything. He's looking forward to a steak dinner one of these days, but that's okay. I can do without the steak, and so can he for a while. He's done it for a long time now. So that's that. We're still very pleased with that, and it is it's going to be a drawn-out procedure, but that's okay. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was what I had told you about jewelry making or jewelry fixing. I did get a couple of things in the mail that I ordered. I told you I was having such trouble with that bronze necklace with the little tiny things in the back, and I couldn't do it, and Moosie couldn't do it. And then some of you mentioned that you can get these magnetic hooks for the backs of necklaces that are so hard to do for all of us, especially now that we're older. And I looked on them, and they both have these lobster claws on both ends. So you don't even need a tool to be able to convert these necklaces. Well, they came this morning. I couldn't wait to try it on that bronze necklace. It took me 30 seconds to clip one on the loop of one side, one here. You don't take anything off. And I put it around the back of my neck, and whoosh, the magnet worked. Very strong magnet. So these things are all on Amazon. So before we begin our jewelry fixing videos, why don't you order some of these on Amazon? Make sure you just, I don't have the link, right? I don't do links anyway, but just plug in magnetic necklace, double. Make sure that they're the double lobster on each end, so you can just click them on the loops. So I did get some of those. I also ordered some ring bases, and they have tons of those on Amazon because I have a lot of stones and little pieces of turquoise and pearls and things. Some of them pearls from broken necklaces from my mother, my grandmother, and I want to make some rings out of these. And all you do is glue on these ring bases any kind of a jewel that you have from broken jewelry. This is going to be so much fun. So I did get a bunch of those, some in gold, some in silver, and these things are all under $10, little packages of all this stuff. So that's good to start with. And I also did have a kit that I knew I had, but I ordered another one, and I wanted one in a little bag. I'll probably transfer it all to a larger bag, but it has the basic tools in here, and it did get some things I probably didn't need, so I'm not going to definitely recommend this. This was $16, I think, and you can get 3 or 4 of those tools for probably $7. That you just order the 4 tools. They come in one little bunch, and they're $7.98 or something, but it has the tools themselves. The main thing are those needle nose pinchers, a needle tool to be able to go through the beads, some needles to be able to thread to go through some of the beads to make necklaces, and then the actual tools that you are going to need are, let me get some of these out. Definitely the needle nose pincher. Now, I haven't even taken them out of these plastic thingies. It's going to take too long to do this right now. But the needle nose pinchers, as you can see, are these tiny little things that you hold the beads with. And then in the other hand, you have what you might call, I'm forgetting the names of these tools, pliers, something to hold. Here's another pair. This is a little bit bigger. So you hold the bead here and you work one like this. So there's just a couple of those tools. What else? Oh, this is a big long needle in here for threading. This is a big long needle to put on the beads that you're working with. What else? A little ruler. Oh, your wire cutter. That's important. This little wire cutter. So if you have these tools, great. If not, you might want to just check it out on Amazon and just get what you think you might like. Okay? So we'll get to those as soon as, and I've been going through my jewelry. Honestly, I have a whole big thing of jewelry. I have old pearls of my mother's that have, I want to do something with. We'll maybe put some of these on the rings. This is going to be fun. And also something that might help you with some things that you've saved that are broken that you can fix. I mean, we all got to have something to keep us going, some hobby of some kind. I know I have too many, and I don't get to all of them. I haven't been to the painting in a long, long time. And but this right now is what I need, and it is what interests me. So I think we're going to go with this for a little while until maybe something else comes up. Who knows? Now, for instance, one of my turquoise bracelets, I lost the middle stone that belongs in the middle. And I just have to go through some of my broken jewelry and find a stone that will approximately fit in there. So I have been using that 6,000 glue, but I understand they do have some glue that is particularly for jewelry glue. So you might want to look that up too, okay? Look at this. This is a watch that I had, I guess, 30 years ago. And the watch doesn't work anymore. I don't even think maybe I'll try and get a battery. But it has these little raw turquoise stones as the, and they're on one of those expandable elastic things. And you know how sometimes they stretch out. But I would love to get this working again. Uh-oh, I just broke it. Guess what? I have little beads all over the floor now, and a couple of them landed, I think, back there in the cat box. Oh, well, I'll do something with all those beads, believe me. We'll wait and see. We'll make something out of it. But now I have to pick up all those beads. Oh, well, that's what happens sometimes with the old jewelry as you're picking it up, especially I have these like little pieces of strands of pearl necklaces that might have been my mom's or my grandma's, and they're not knotted on the ends because they're broken. You have to make sure you don't lose those. Now, the other thing that I ordered, and you know, at Christmas time, little Megan and Lizzie were into beaded jewelry making, and I did get them supplies and things. And I ordered Megan one of these little magnifying workstations that you clip on the edge of a table, I guess, but it was a lot smaller. I mean, it was only about 6 inches high. But I figured, well, if I'm going to get into this, I'm going to order a bigger one. I think I paid $29 for this. However, you know, they said, oh, this is a special kind of a clamp that, you know, you just, it won't fall off. You just keep twisting and turning, and you get your table in here, and then this is all adjustable. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And if I can figure out how to clamp it on tables, but you know, every table is different. Some have these extension pieces that will get in the way of you trying to clamp this on, or sometimes they're too wide to clamp them on. It doesn't seem to want to go on this table here, which is where I will be doing my work. So I'm going to have to look into something else, but I love the idea of it because when I look in here, I don't know whether you can see the magnification here. You see my ring. Look at that. You know, you can't really see it, but it's great. It's not only for so many things, though. How many times Moosie and I have these hand magnifiers all over the house for reading recipes and for reading the back of something or looking at something. And this really is going to be a no hands type of a thing that as you work, you don't need it, but maybe a lot of us might be doing a better job if we have this. So let's wait and see what I find out I can do with this. I've been trying to look at this myself. I do have it attached right, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to go on here. And it doesn't go on a kitchen counter because you've got the drawers coming down, and it won't let this thing go around. See this on the bottom? That's how you adjust the height here. So it's a little trickier than they make it out to believe. So I'm going to try and find things. We'll see what I can find. At least you can see that I'm serious about this fixing jewelry stuff anyway. So obviously this doesn't help me with the purging, but I've forgotten about this for a while. And by the way, so many of you said, good for you. You took the unpopular way to go, because everybody is pushing that, be a minimalist, get rid of everything. And I understand those of you who have your own ideas on it too. I really do. A lot of it's very sensible. I'm not always a sensible person, but I took the opposite. I can't purge well. And so many of you agreed with me. So that was a fun video too. And jewelry making and saving all this really tells you what a rotten perjurer I am anyway, because I have saved so much. But look at the fun we're going to have with all of it anyway, right? This is one very special something that for years I've been trying to do something with it. And I don't think you can see it very well, but this is the top of what my mother always called her dinner ring that her father gave her when she was 16. And it was a ring, and it got tighter and tighter as she grew older on her finger, and she finally had to have it cut off. She always wore it, and it has several tiny little tiny diamonds in it, and I tried to figure out, what am I going to do with this? And I think then she had a loop put on the top, and she wore it around her neck for a while. But it's too tiny to be significant, at least for me. It's too tiny jewelry on me. I'm not wild about. So I'm going to try and make a ring out of this. I don't know what, but I am so glad I've saved it and haven't removed the diamonds too, because I do have some of my mother's diamonds from other jewelry in my my ring. This is a ring that I'm going to be able to tell you. This is a ring that I'll tell you about for those of you who don't know the history of it, that starts with our engagement and goes on and on and on right up to our 50th wedding anniversary, with additions here and there, and some of my mother's stones from her old jewelry in my ring too. I'll tell you about that someday. Well, not too much going on in this video, but the sun is out. Why don't we go outside and we'll see what Moosie's doing, and maybe I can get 1 or 2 things transplanted. I did spend about an hour and a half this morning. I do all my garden work before Moosie even wakes up. I rise early, and as soon as that sun is out, or the sun comes up and it's light enough for me to go out, I'm out there, and that's when I do my weeding and other things. So I think we'll make a little trip out there now and see what we can do before my energy for the day is over. Then I'll edit this and hopefully get it up to you for tomorrow. Maybe even later this afternoon. Well, I'm just going to say goodbye here now. I never did get outside. I'm sorry, but the video just started to get a little too long. But I hope you enjoyed the pictures. And Moosie came inside, so I thought, well, I won't go out and do anything. My energy is waning very quickly anyway. So I'll edit this and hopefully get it up to you either this afternoon or tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little pictures of the wedding. And if you're ready to get going on that jewelry fixing, go on Amazon and get what you think you need. And maybe we'll begin within the next video or 2. Love you. Bye for now, and thanks so much for watching. God bless us all.